everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
Greetings everyone, old and new. Welcome to Haseo Reviews and part 3 of our ongoing look back at Sonic's 30 years of ups and downs. Last time we saw how the American Sega staff led by Yuji Naka made an excellent successor to the original Sonic the Hedgehog with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But this time, we'll be observing what the Japanese staff led by Naoto Oshima created. Before we get started, if you like what you see here and want to see more from me, make sure to hit subscribe and then ring the bell to stay up to date with me. You'd be surprised at how much you miss out on if you don't do that, because YouTube keeps changing how things work. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if I do, I'll celebrate it with an in-depth review of both the original Skies of Arcadia for Dreamcast and its GameCube remake, Skies of Arcadia Legends. Development on Sonic CD actually began as an enhanced port of either the original Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I couldn't find a straight answer, for the upcoming Sega CD, a CD-ROM add-on for the Sega Genesis, Sega believing that putting their new mascot franchise on their new add-on would guarantee high sales. Once Oshima was brought on board, he changed course from an enhanced port of an old game to a wholly original concept that would allow the team not only more freedom to create a memorable experience, but allow them to take advantage of the improvements that came with the new CD hardware. Along with reusing the scrap time travel mechanic from an earlier version of Sonic 2, Sonic CD would introduce its own new characters. While Tails wasn't present in the original Sega CD release, Sonic CD gave us two of the most well-remembered characters in the franchise, Amy Rose, Sonic's self-proclaimed love interest, and Metal Sonic, a robot doppelganger of Sonic built by Dr. Robotnik. The plot sees Sonic visiting Neverlake to see the rare appearance of Little Planet, which he discovers Robotnik is currently in the process of roboticizing to create a new Death Egg. Along the way, he meets Amy, who is quickly kidnapped by Metal Sonic. Sonic now has to defeat Robotnik, return Little Planet to its original natural self, and save Amy from Metal Sonic's clutches. Part of this setup is summarized in the opening cutscene, animated by legendary Japanese studio Toei Animation, the studio responsible for One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Digimon. The song that plays during this intro depends on whether you're playing the US or Japanese and European version, as the soundtrack was completely replaced for the US release. More on that later. Subsequent ports of the game would present this cutscene in its full, uncompressed glory, but the original Sega CD release, due to the Sega CD not exactly handling full motion video well at all, presents it in a severely cropped, pixelated, low frame rate version that, while obviously not as pretty to look at as the uncompressed version, actually benefits a bit from the muddier visuals and choppier frame rate, especially during the cross dissolves. Sonic CD has seen multiple re-releases over the years, which begs the question of what version I'll be covering for this video. While I normally like to cover the original version of each game, I'll mainly be talking about the 2011 remaster by Christian Whitehead, because it's the most widely available compared to the 1993 Sega CD release, the 1996 PC version, or the port of the PC version included in Sonic Gems Collection. The remaster also includes a few noticeable quality of life improvements that make this the definitive version of Sonic CD. The game was rebuilt from the ground up on Whitehead's custom-made retro engine, which leads to Sonic feeling tighter to control, as well as re-rendering the game in a modern 16:9 aspect ratio for widescreen displays. Also included is the option to use a Sonic 2-styled spin dash, which is an objective improvement, as the original version had a janky spin dash that you had to charge up for a second or two before you could launch off. Tails has an unlockable character after you beat the game, and most notably, the option to switch between either the US or Japanese soundtracks, although the Japanese intro "You Can Do Anything" is missing its lyrics due to rights issues. Okay, now let's dive into the game itself. Well, first of all, the graphics certainly look nice, with more vibrant colors than what we saw in the previous two games. The music also makes great use of the fact it's pre-recorded on a CD this time, instead of relying on the Sega Genesis sound chip. The Japanese soundtrack has more of a new jack swing or house music style, while the US soundtrack features more rock and techno tunes. Both sound great, but I found the Japanese soundtrack to be more memorable and diverse. Sonic CD is divided up into 7 zones, split into 3 acts apiece, with a boss at the end of Act 3. Yes, we're back to Sonic 1 rules in more ways than one. Sonic has all of his moves from Sonic 1 and 2, with one new move that never seemed to catch on, the Super Peel Out, activated by holding up on the D-pad and pressing jump, which allows Sonic to take off at a higher speed than what the Spin Dash gives you, albeit while leaving you vulnerable to enemies. There's really no reason to use this move when the Spin Dash is also available and destroys enemies and obstacles. Littered throughout every level are past and future signposts. Passing one of these and keeping at top speed with no interruptions will allow Sonic to teleport either to the past version of the current stage or the future version. Let me tell you right now, there is no reason to travel to the future, because one of the 2 paths to the good ending is in the past stages. The level layouts are slightly tweaked between time periods, along with the graphics changing to reflect either a peaceful natural paradise or a dystopian nightmare future. In the past stages, you can find 1 robot generator in each of the first 2 acts of each zone. Destroying it wipes out all enemies in all areas of the stage and creates a good future where Little Planet peacefully melds technology and nature together. Let me tell you now, you will never do this, because time travel is a crapshoot to pull off due to the levels not being designed in a way that easily allows you to maintain your speed, past signposts being placed in seemingly random places, and certain stages robot generators being placed in areas that require you to defy all logic to find. That's where the special stages come in. Just like Sonic 1, collecting at least 50 rings and jumping into the giant ring at the end of Act 1 or 2 will teleport you to a special stage, which once again introduces a whole new minigame where Sonic has to navigate a pseudo 3D maze to destroy all the UFOs littered throughout within a strict time limit. Touching any of the water in the mazes causes the timer to tick down faster. Once the timer goes below 20 seconds, a blue UFO appears in the center of the maze, and destroying it refills the timer by 30 seconds. While Sonic's controls are admittedly awkward, and finding what counts as a hit on the UFOs can be a major pain at first, these are significantly more fun than the slow, monotonous special stages in Sonic 1, or the trial and error nightmares of Sonic 2. Completing a special stage successfully rewards Sonic not with a Chaos Emerald, but a Time Stone, magic gems native to Little Planet that allow their user to manipulate time itself. Collecting all of them instantly grants you a good future in every level and gives you a guaranteed ticket to the good ending, so go for these if you don't want to pull your hair out dealing with time travel and scouring every stage for robot generators. Sonic CD's approach to level design feels more like Sonic 1 than how Sonic 2 handled it, in multiple aspects. First of all, as I mentioned before, this game does not believe in letting the player go fast unless they memorized every nook and cranny of every level beforehand to plot out their ideal route. While Sonic 2 had levels with long stretches of flat land, Sonic CD returns to Sonic 1's love for slow, methodical platforming. On top of that, the philosophy behind the enemy and trap placement seems to be what would piss players off the most, resulting in levels that just aren't as fun to play as what Sonic 2 offered. Although I will say that the weakest stages in Sonic CD are nowhere near as bad as the bad parts of Sonic 2. The level aesthetics are also pretty uninspired. Palm Tree Panic is just a bigger green hill. Collision Chaos features the pinball flippers of Casino Night Zone, but without the beautiful neon-lit backgrounds and slot machines, making this whole zone feel like a mishmash of random assets. Tidal Tempest is the best parts of Aquatic Ruin from Sonic 2, mixed with the worst parts of Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1. If you play well, you generally get to avoid getting stuck underwater, but if you do fall in the water, it's an absolute drag. Quartz Quadrant is one of those zones that doesn't really stick out to me apart from its boss fight, which I'll delve into later. Wacky Workbench? This is the worst zone in the whole game, as it takes the traditional play well and you get to take the shorter top path rule of previous Sonic games, and even previous levels in this game, and flips it on its head. If you touch the floor, you get bounced to the top of the level and have to slowly and agonizingly work your way back down in order to progress. Stardust Speedway is pretty to look at, but is a confusing maze to navigate. I often found myself looping through the same handful of areas over and over again because I couldn't find the path forward. I also ran into an area that was literally impossible to escape from, leaving me no option but to either let the timer run out or quit the level and restart. Lastly, we have Metallic Madness Zone, which seems to think that crusher pistons, tubes that loop you back to the beginning if you go the wrong way, and bottomless pits below unstable platforms are the best ways to make the final zone the most challenging. In addition to the levels themselves ranging from underwhelming to bad, the boss fights with Robotnik are pretty pathetic. The very first fight in Palm Tree Panic can be easily beaten without taking a single hit. The Collision Chaos fight is tedious but only takes one hit to beat. The Tidal Tempest fight makes sure that you won't run out of air and only gives Robotnik one easy-to-dodge attack. Quartz Quadrant is a neat idea that has Sonic using his speed to gradually wear down Robotnik's machine, but since, once again, it only has one attack that's easy to avoid, it doesn't put up much of a fight. I found Wacky Workbench's boss to be the hardest, if only because failing to deliver that final hit pretty much guarantees death. Stardust Speedway houses the standout boss fight of this game because rather than fighting another Robotnik mech, you're racing Metal Sonic to the end of a track while dodging spikes, Metal Sonic's own attacks, and trying not to fall too far behind as Robotnik is chasing you with an instant kill laser. Beating Metal Sonic to the finish line causes the door to slam shut, resulting in Robotnik accidentally destroying his own creation and Sonic finally rescuing Amy. Lastly, Metallic Madness's boss is disappointingly easy for a final encounter. I'm pretty sure it's impossible to score the first hit without getting hurt yourself, but once that first hit is dealt, it's only a matter of time until Robotnik is finally defeated. The ending has another animated cutscene, with Sonic and Amy escaping from Little Planet, the planet breaking free of its chains and returning to normal before it flies off, and a credit sequence that shows an animated recap of all the stages you went through, before ending with a message saying you're too cool if you managed to get the good ending. The last thing of note is the hidden sound test menu, which houses some interesting secrets. By entering certain combinations of numbers, you can play a hidden special stage, unlock debug mode, or view some bizarre artwork including a chibi Sonic, a drawing of Sonic, Robotnik, and Metal Sonic as DJs, a sketch drawn in the style of The Dark Knight Returns, this weird promo image of Tails with a car that says see you next game, and gah! I swear this thing catches me off guard every time. Sonic CD used to be regarded as the hidden gem of the Sonic the Hedgehog series, but now that it's become more readily available with the 2011 remaster, that opinion seems to have soured over the past decade, and I tend to agree. While the graphics and music are better than what we saw in Sonic 1 and 2, Sonic CD suffers from a mishmash of ideas that contradict each other. Let's reward going fast by letting you travel through time! In stages that are so cramped and confined, you rarely get to go fast in the first place. Let's let the players see the same stages in different time periods with their own unique layouts and graphics! But the levels to begin with are already dull to look at, and changing the colors around isn't going to make them less boring. Let's give the players a path to the good ending that doesn't require playing the special stages, but that path is objectively worse to go through than just getting the time stones. It's like for every good idea they came up with, someone else came up with something to make that idea suck. I'd argue that you can skip this one unless you're intent on playing every single Sonic game, in which case, go for the remaster. You can get it for free with ads on mobile phones, and it's cheap on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. Well, that was a bit of a downer, wasn't it? Luckily for the next game, we return to the regular Genesis with Yuji Naka at the helm, with the most ambitious Sonic game yet, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm Haseo, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters!